So having simulated or determined the P50 EBITDA, now we are ready to determine whatever the P99 EBITDA will be. So in this case, we could just take all of this all the way, highlight everything to the end of the project life. We take all of the EBITDA into consideration, including P99. We go Alt AWT to bring up the data table. And then, since our P99 is located in the column, so we have to reference the energy probability on this column cell here. So we reference that there, then we click OK. Then we scroll all the way down to see what those numbers will be. In this case, we just have to be patient for a bit because Excel sometimes takes some time calculating data tables. So we'll just be patient to see what it does at the end. As you can see down, if you look down, you can see the data table, and Excel is pulling up numbers 3, 4, going on. We just wait to see what happens. So we have it calculated for us there. As you can see, we have it set up, and now we are now ready to use these production EBITDA productions. We can now use these to later on drive our depth sizing going forward. So now we have to link in the debt service coverage covenant. In this case, the lenders are demanding for the P50 1.35 times. We reference the number there. And also for the P99, the lenders are demanding this coverage amount of principal and interest. So your EBITDA must be at least for the P99 1 times the principal and interest. So going forward for this, we will just reference this, reference that cell with F4, and we'll do the same thing for the P99, reference it with F4. And then the next thing we want to do here is to assign, we're going to bring in the different EBITDAs here. So for the P50, it's going to be that amount, and for the P99, it's going to be this amount here. So the EBITDA divided by the debt service coverage covenant, take that amount divided by the covenant, and then we get exactly what the EBITDA will be. So this amount is very, very important in our depth sizing going forward. So we take this all the way to the end of the project life. Fill it right with Control R. So we have that set up there. So the only thing we have to do here now is to insert, because we're gonna be using this to calculate the debt sizing per debt service coverage ratio. So we will be using a minimum function here of 2x and pivs. So we are heavily discounting this from the future, all of these cash flows from the future, heavily discounting it back to this commercial operation date. So we have to set up some numbers here. This year is just gonna be 0, and also here 0 as well. So we don't have we just made that font white so that no one can see exactly what numbers are there, but we know that there is no minimum, there was not initial investment at this time, so we just include 0 to discount this back to this present date. So we're going to be taking the minimum of those two to later on drive whatever the opening balance is going to be. So going forward, we will set this to be equal to the minimum of the opening balance is going to be the minimum of the maximum sizing at 85% of capex and the debt sizing per debt service coverage ratio. So we set the minimum of those two there. So now we can now estimate the maximum size at 85%. We will recall that the lenders will be lending 85% of the total levered cost. So we have that amount. We're going to multiply that by the total levered cost. So that's the maximum the lenders will be providing. So in order to estimate whatever the interest is going to be, the principal is going to be calculated on, we will have to take into account the minimum of, in order to estimate whatever the interest is going to be calculated on, we have to take into account the minimum of these two amounts for the maximum sizing at 85% of capex and the debt sizing per debt service coverage ratio, so that we can now use that amount to pay interest based on that amount. So interest is going to be based on this opening balance here. So in the next video, we're going to be simulating what this debt sizing per debt service coverage ratio amount will be. So hopefully I see you there for us to estimate this amount based on the two embedded net present value formula.